In today's Reddit story, OP shares the discovery of finding pictures of her sister on her husband's phone, pictures he used to get himself off with. While she wanted to continue working on things with her husband, more truths come to light, which has her questioning how far things actually went between her sister and partner. To find out how this story ends, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it.
While I could write a book about everything that led up to this discovery, I'm going to try and keep it simple. Me and my husband are high school sweethearts, and I'd say that he's the male version of me. Before this event, we'd never had a fight, just an odd disagreement once in a blue moon. We've been together 12 years and have 2 beautiful boys, and we're as close to the white picket fence life as it gets. Me and my sister are as opposite as they come. I'm a tall brunette who's a little heavyset due to my back-to-back pregnancies, and my sister's a short, petite blonde. While I'm a hard worker who went to college and have a career, my sister just about finished high school and can barely hold down a part-time job. I seem to take care of everyone and everything but myself, but I've never really minded it. My sister, in her own words, says that all she cares about is looking hot. My husband's an amazing partner, and he works his butt off to provide for our family. And even though he works a lot, he puts in just as much effort regarding childcare and household upkeep as I do. I respected and trusted him completely, but what can only be described as a woman's intuition, I went looking through some of his Discord messages that he had with a group of buddies. He hadn't been himself lately, and something just told me to do it. I didn't know what I thought I'd find, but I certainly didn't expect this. There was a message thread of him bragging about how hot my sister is, and he shared photos of her, along with messages saying that she's the best 10 out of 10 sex that he's ever had. My world was shattered, and the biggest questions I had were when and how. They've always been very appropriate with each other and have never given me reason to expect this, so when he got home that night, that's exactly what I asked him. The look of complete shame on his face is what I remember, and he began a long confession of how, although he finds my sister attractive, he's never had sex with her, and that it was essentially made-up locker room talk with the boys to make it look like he scored a total babe. After me asking questions and him answering honestly, he confessed that he used to have a secret folder with pictures of my sister, but deleted it a long time ago. He even showed me how he would hide the pictures because I've always had immediate access to his phone. Well, curious me remembered his old phone from several years ago sitting in a dresser drawer, and when I was alone that night, I gave it a charge. I know that I shouldn't have looked, but I did, and there were dozens of photos of my sister from Facebook, Instagram, and candid pictures taken of her that filled up his hidden spank bank. This had gone on for years, and I had no clue the absolute heartbreak consumed me, and several nights later, I told my husband that I wanted a divorce. I refused to compete with my sister for my husband's affection, and how could I ever be in a room with her again and not feel inadequate? This wasn't some woman he had a fling with and we'd never see again. This is someone we see at every family barbecue, birthday, and holiday, but he wouldn't hear any of it. He said that he knew his actions were wrong, but never imagined how devastated I would be to find out. But now, he's willing to do anything to help me heal. It's been a year since I discovered all this, and he's spent all that time constantly reassuring me, helping me through triggers, and being patient with my mood. He pretty much avoids my sister, and if we have to be together, he tries his best to make sure I'm okay. I've never spoken about this with anyone because I see it as our personal problem. It's no one's business. Recently, though, I had a constant nagging feeling that my sister knew something about my husband's feelings. She said several things about my husband, things that I once would have seen as innocent, but now seem suspicious. I brought this up to my husband, asking if there is anything she knew of that I didn't, and once again, I saw the look of shame. He confessed that in previous years, he'd grab my sister's butt when the opportunity presented itself, and it happened dozens of times, spaced out over years, and was a flirty little thing between them. My heart was shattered into a million pieces, as it was now a physical relationship they shared behind my back. He swears that it never went further than that, and explained that he suspected my sister of intentionally doing things to get his attention, mostly around the time she was having boyfriend troubles. Basically, she was being a big tease whenever I wasn't around or paying attention, which is what led to him becoming Mr. Handsy and creating his spank bank. In hindsight, I can recall several instances that I should have picked up on, but brushed off as nothing. I believe that she did in fact participate in what he claims, and when I asked why he never said anything about this before, he stated that he stopped it years ago and didn't want to stir up any drama between me and my sister. I'm trying so hard to be okay, but this has been a huge setback in regard to my healing. I feel broken all over again, and I'm angry at both of them. I feel like a fool. A part of me says my husband's a sneaky, lying asshole and I should leave him, breaking his heart like he's done mine. The other part says he is a great husband and father, and that he's a human who made a mistake and is actively trying to correct his wrongs, so I should work on forgiveness and healing.
While it could be my pessimistic nature showing its face, I honestly think that OP's husband did sleep with her sister. The fact that her sister was okay with him touching her in such a way, why wouldn't she go all the way with him? And yes, while guys can sometimes lie about how far they were able to get with a woman, I have a hard time believing that he'd lie about this to his friends due to how destructive it could be to his relationship. If they've been flirting and displaying physical affection for years, surely things would have escalated over time, which is just the very nature of things like this. What started out as a pat on the bum soon became a light grab, then a grope, then a kiss. You get the picture. This is a very unfortunate situation for OP, and I doubt things will get much easier for her moving forward, since she will most likely never get the full truth about what went down between her sister and husband. She will always be wondering. While she's at a family gathering and her husband and sister share a quick glance at each other, will they be reminiscing about the time they tore each other's clothes off? Personally, I don't think OP should stick around, but when people have families, it can be hard to tear it all down and move on, even if in the long term, it would be for the best. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.